I'd love to start us off. Carl, do you have any questions?
You stand for this game.
Of course. Beavers support Beavers. Yes. It was a great game tonight. It was just fun to be back out there, and obviously we have a lot of new on this roster. We're not quite whole yet. We will be, but we're not yet. And that means, man, people have been having to play out of position. People have been having to step into different roles, multiple roles. And I figured tonight, knowing that we're playing against a Hawaii team that's A, good, B, experienced, and a tournament team a year ago, it was going to be an absolute fight, and it was. And so I was not surprised by that at all. I figured I didn't know we'd get down like we did, but I figured we would have to improve each quarter. And I thought we did, and I give Hawaii all the credit in the world, and Laura does a great job, the staff does a great job. Well coached, they kept adapting, they hit huge shots in the fourth quarter to get back in it, to take the lead late, and then our team was just gritty and tough and made the plays to win. And Noelle wins this on a hustle play. I thought that was just perfect. That describes who she is, what she's brought to this program for 4 years now. It felt like it was right before the buzzer, so I had a feeling, Noelle's going to be at the line with the game on the line, and bless her heart, man, stepping up and knocking down a big free throw, and then our team, challenging the last shot just enough to secure a win. And so always fun to be back in Gill. I think it's special for everyone, and Hawaii played like it was special tonight to play in front of this crowd, and so just a great night for us, and 1-0, good way to be.
Nicole, I'm just going to guess this is your biggest moment of your college life tonight.
First off.
What's that?
What's really funny is I used to call her Nicole too. Oh. Year one, I'd say, and it became a joke. It became a joke.
Wow. I'm used to
and
it.
So
it's
that's
okay. Yeah, I'm used to it.
I didn't put him up to that.
No, I swear I didn't even know I said that.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It used to happen to me too. It's okay.
Miss Mannen.
Yes.
Was that the biggest? That had to be the biggest moment of your college life, going to the free throw line with two. Mm-hmm. Was it comforting at all to know you had two rather than just one? I don't know how nervous you were up there.
Yeah, it was somewhat comforting. I mean, the plan was to make the first one and miss the second one, though. So once I missed the first one, I kind of ruined our plan. But yeah, it was somewhat comforting to know that I had two.
When you did miss the first one, did you say anything to yourself, or
yeah, I was a little frustrated with myself, but yeah, I just looked over at him and he's like, "You're good, just make the second one now."
I said, make this one.
Yeah, he said, "Make this one now." So
AJ, you obviously had a year under your belt. You kind of played like you had some experience tonight. Did you feel like now this is kind of not your team, but you're able to really be a leader on this team?
Yeah, for sure. I'm super comfortable out there, and yeah, playing with them for a year, it's the four of us, like having that experience, and just playing for Scott for a year, I'm feeling really comfortable out there.
Scott, this is a dumb question, but so I didn't know you can go to the monitor and call a foul out. I didn't know that is that?
Well, they reviewed because one official said game over, another official, I saw his hand go up to me and he stopped the clock, and it seemed before. So they would go to the monitor for that reason anyway, because there was a discrepancy between the two. There's a new rule this year that says it's not when the hand goes up, it's when the contact happens. And so when the contact hit, there was .4 left on the clock. And so.
But did they call a foul on the floor?
Yeah, Brian Woods right in front of the play. I saw his hand go up, foul, and then heard the buzzer. So I was confident there would be time remaining.
We all learned something tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Among the freshmen, Lily knocked down some big threes for you in that first half as you were crawling back in it.
Yeah, great player, great shooter, clutch. And, I think I've said it all along. I think Lily is the most underrated wing in the class, the 22 class. She has a feel that you can't teach. And so when I watched her play, and we all know she's going to get more physical as her college career, develops and goes on. Of course, she's going to get more muscle, get stronger, all those things that just naturally happen throughout your career. But at 6'2", growing up playing the one, then she grew and moved off the ball. I just watched her play, and she's always in the right place. She's an excellent passer. She has such a feel as a scorer. You know, the game slows down as she gets closer to the rim, which is rare. And then, you know, she was one of the best shooters in the country. And, you know, so tonight, you know, I started her in the exhibition game, brought her off the bench tonight, wanted to just give her, Lex is back first off, but I wanted to give her a look off the bench. And I thought, which is fair, I think, for a first-year player. And so, you know, to feel the game, and then she clearly saw we needed some points. We needed somebody to hit a shot. And so the team did a great job. I mean, 18 assists tonight on 23 field goals. I mean, that's Beaver basketball right there. And I thought the team really did a nice job moving it and creating open shots for her. And bless her heart, knocking them down.
Noelle, you've said you're not a point guard, but you're playing one right now. How comfortable are you with that role at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, this year, for sure, by far, I've gotten the most reps in practice and have been running the one pretty much since we started workouts back in the fall. And so, yeah, I feel very comfortable with it, especially compared to some of the past years when I would play a little more. And like you said, everyone's in weird spots right now, too, so we're all rotating at certain points. But, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable.
Looking at the makeup of this roster, is that something that may have to continue this season? That's a role you're going to have to fill?
I think that could be a strength of ours, too, moving forward as everyone gets more comfortable, too. Everyone being comfortable playing whatever position that they're asked to be put in. So I kind of hope so, that we all sort of get to be in those spots.
I agree.
We see, obviously, you led the team in scoring tonight, AJ. Defensively, how much more comfortable are you in this second year out there, knowing where you're supposed to be?
A lot more confident and comfortable. We work on that every day, and just knowing that I have those reps like under my belt, and you know, we play against our scout guys. You know, they're crazy fast and crazy aggressive, and just knowing that I can do that against them, I have confidence in myself that I can do it against anyone.
Coach, you'd mentioned a lot of nerves going into the exhibition game. How much of a role do you think nerves played into the slow start in this game?
Yeah, probably some, for sure. I know we have, for this game, I know we have some families in town for the first time. That's always adds a layer, you know, to the night. And you want to win, and you're playing against a really good team, and a really good team that comes out and starts knocking threes down. You know, after we had a couple funky, weird possessions to start the game, we were a little bit off. We were in control defensively initially, and then we couldn't score. And then they relaxed, and all of a sudden they're hitting threes because we weren't scoring. They got confident, we started pressing a little bit, and it was just one of those rough starts, you know, offensively. And there's so much new stuff. I mean, we're still thinking too much, but there's no way around it. Like, this is not easy, what we're attempting to do. This is hard. And there's a lot to teach, there's a lot to process, there's a lot to adapt to. I mean, every play has 3 different reads in it, everything we're doing, you know, and plus we're moving people around. So I knew tonight would be survival. I knew it would be. And so that's what it was. Survive that first quarter, figure it out. Obviously, we made a defensive adjustment, and that slowed them down and gave us some momentum going forward. And so I give them a ton of credit for sticking with it and fighting their way back into it.
Great job, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody got one more?
Couple of stat things I noticed here, Scott. I don't typically look at plus minus, but Noelle was 21. It just sticks out because
Yeah.
no one else is even close to that. I mean, so obviously she had a big impact on the game.
Yeah, and I think just, you know, her knowledge, like she mentioned, being year 4, her knowledge of what we do, how we do it, the way we communicate, her communication to the team. I mean, that's a veteran. You know, she's played every role on our team. I mean, you have played some 5, haven't you? You probably have, actually. So she's been in every spot on the team, you know, throughout her career. And we're seeing the benefit of that. You know, now she can relate to every position. So our communication is so fluid. You know, Marotte is coming along in that. It's hard to pick that stuff up initially. And so Noelle's doing a great job. And so our execution through her, let alone her defensive ability, you know, and she's so disruptive down there. I thought she was super accurate in our zone tonight. And yeah, she's a playmaker. So benefited both ends.
And then Elena played 29 plus minutes, which I don't know, is that think that's probably gotta be
It's
a close
close.
to
I think she had a
career high.
30. Oh, I want to say she had 31 last year in one game.
But, I mean,
Yeah,
just the
it's
fact,
close.
I mean, she doesn't play typically that much before, so she's obviously in really good shape and
Yeah.
can stay on the floor as she did tonight.
Yeah, and so she's worked so hard, like we've talked about. I mean, her conditioning's at a completely different level, and, you know, we're using her slightly differently, and so she's adapting to a new year. You know, her body keeps developing, so new body, new everything, and so I thought she had some big moments. She had some big blocks, I think. I remember a couple. And so, yeah, so Yelena's very impactful, and I thought she had a huge role in this game.
And then they hit their first 5 threes.
Isn't that
But then they were,
awesome?
and then they were
How does
seven,
that keep happening, by the way?
and then they were 7 for 27. I mean, you can live with that, can't you? And did you do anything a little different after they started hitting everything?
Well, you know, we went to our zone, and I thought the zone impacted them. But give them a ton of credit for knocking some huge ones down in the fourth quarter. You know, I mean, they struggled. They only hit 2 in the second quarter. I don't know how many they hit in the third, but to hit several in the fourth is what it felt like to get themselves back in. But I thought we got better and kept adapting, you know, and we haven't spent a ton of time in our zone this year, and so tonight to play it basically for 3 quarters and continue to adapt within it, I thought was really good for us going forward. And so, yeah, we need to be disruptive out there for sure, and they were obviously way too comfortable to start the game.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs.
Yes.
Go
Beavs.
Beavs.
Thank you. See you Thursday.